Welcome to Walker Talks. I'm Lacey Smith with the Walker County Chamber of Commerce, joined today by Wendy Ingram with the City of LaFayette. Wendy, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a busy time lately.
It is busy. It is busy. You guys are doing something, I feel like, every week pretty much in Lafayette, bringing people to the area. Now, for those of our viewers who are listening or watching on YouTube, tell them what exactly your position is with the Downtown Development Authority.
I'm called the Downtown Development Authority Director and also the Main Street Manager. So this is a position that I never knew even existed. I have retired from education a couple of years ago, and I saw this event planning position is what it basically looked like. I was like, yeah, I can plan parties in downtown, but it's so much more than that. It's economic development. It's about building relationships with our community, with each other, with our businesses. And so I've been doing this now for about 2.5 years. A large part of my job is to plan events like concerts, or we just had Galentine's last week. I think I saw you on the streets there. It was a great time, and just get to do activities in our downtown that bring people to the streets so that they can put their faces in our places. So right there in downtown, the Galentine's event probably had about 350 people. I don't know. Do you have a guess?
I would think
maybe even more.
It was pretty well attended from what I saw. Yeah. I got to meet some businesses, some of the ones who participate in the farmers market too.
Absolutely.
Got to meet her.
Yeah. The one thing I love about that is a lot of our businesses try to tie in with other businesses who don't have a brick and mortar store. And so a lot of these brick and mortar stores reached out, or people reached out to them and said, hey, I could sell cookies inside your jewelry shop, like Thrive Bake Shop did that with Chapman Jewelry. And Kim at That's So Mimi has always been like the queen of collaboration with bringing other small businesses in that then give our people in Lafayette multiple services. Evie Lou's, who's right there on the downtown square, she cuts hair. She also has a boutique and they do nails, but she really was bringing in lots of other small vendors so that it could really be a night for the gals, but it could have been anybody. It didn't just have to be your gal pals. It could have been families, because I did see families out and about. It's just really a great way to promote our downtown, and that's my job. My job is to help promote Lafayette, help show that it is an economic development. And let me say this. It is a great place for economic development, and it's getting even better. The more activities we do, the more people see what a great town it is, and they want to invest. And I actually had someone reach out to me. I was shopping around in another town, and I was like, we need this store in Lafayette. And they were like, yeah, I've been trying to get in down there. And then I made that connection. So just talking to people, and, I don't know if you can tell, but I like to talk to people. So anyway, it really has made a big impact, just putting things out there. And people are seeing the fun things that are happening in Lafayette, and they want to be a part of it.
Well, relationships is kind of the theme of our podcast this month anyway. It's Valentine's Day, February. We've always had a good working relationship with the City of Lafayette. I've always been impressed with their leadership. The city manager, David Hamilton, does a great job, but there has just been a new vibe and a new feel, just a re-energized City of Lafayette, probably in the last decade, but probably the last 5 to 7 years for sure. What do you feel like is driving that?
Well, as you touched on, David Hamilton is an amazing leader. He is one of those visionaries, really, and he's such a thinker and a planner, and he's willing to listen to other ideas and then try to figure out what we can do to bring others on board. He's not just, this is my way, this is the only way. Like, for instance, the Mars Theater, the DDA just started renting it out in October, and one of the things was it was full of all kind of props and stuff from the previous tenants that they were not able to get rid of. And so just in looking at the task alone, it was like, who is going to clean this stuff out? And then, like David said, well, who can we reach out to at the high school? The high school has been key to a lot of our projects in our town. And so we reached out to the JROTC, and they came and cleaned out that building in like an hour. 50 kids came, I say kids, but basically they came in, immobilized. You could hear their leaders going at it, and boy, in like an hour, they were done. They had emptied it out, and we were ready to begin work. So just the collaboration and how David has really made it a key part of his leadership is always looking back to who in the community, what service groups can we make this a collaborative experience, because we want those kids in JROTC to take pride, and when they come, now that the theater is open and this weekend is our opening weekend, we want them to come in and be like, man, I helped be a part of this, and then they have that sense of ownership and they're going to take pride in that. And so there's a lot more civic pride, in my opinion. I've lived up here about 32 years. I'm not a native Lafiitian, jokingly saying Lafiitian, but I'm not natively from Lafayette, but I absolutely love it. I love small town living, wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And just the way that we can reach out to the high school, and Maggie Stoltz is like, okay, hold on, I got a group, we can do that. We need t-shirts printed for our Earth Day experience. Hey, we've got FBLA right here that can print them up for you. So, and then as a former educator, I'm always going to try to reach out to our community schools and think, how can we do something for them? How can they benefit and learn, and how can they help grow their civic pride? So our DDA, our Downtown Development Authority Board, is a member. We have 7 members in it, and they are truly invested. They come from different walks of life, and they really bring a lot of experience to the table. So they are the big drivers of activity that's happening in downtown as well. So our city leadership, but also our membership of the DDA and our volunteers on that board. I don't know if people realize that. They're volunteering their time. They're the people that are out there at concerts where they're introducing ourselves every time and just trying to make sure we make Lafayette a place where people want to shop, live, work, play, all of the above. So.
There's so many different things I want to touch on. Go back to the youth, and so talking about getting them engaged, they're helping clean up the Mars Theater. Hopefully, they remember that for years and years to come, but they want to come back here and reinvest. And then we have a new generation of leadership. Talk about the LaFayette, the Youth Council.
Yes, we have the Junior City Council, which I am one of the advisors for, but that was really the brainchild of Chris Davis, who is a current City Council member, and David Hamilton, and I believe Maggie Stoltz was a big part of that. So we have about 18 kids that are our students from Lafayette High School that are on our board, and we meet with them monthly, and we talk about events that are happening in town. I always tell them, here's some opportunities to serve, because a lot of them are our scholars kids who have to get like 20 to 30 hours of community service every year. So I always try to make sure they know how they can be a part of downtown, but then we seek their opinion. What do you want to see happen? And then we have specific events like Halloween Hangout that are geared toward just Lafayette High School students, where we show a movie in October on the downtown at Downtown Commons. Then we also, one successful thing last year was called Corners of the World, and it was like a culture fest. That was fantastic. We partnered with the farmers market. So all these different collaborative processes are what makes these events happen. Us just doing it on our own, it wouldn't have been as successful. But talking with Mackenzie Boisevere, who is the manager for Lafayette Farmers Market, and just partnering with her, they have anywhere from 800 to 1,200 people that come on a given Saturday to shop and get that local produce, those homemade hand goods, and just have a great time. There's usually entertainment going, someone's singing. So they partnered with us on the Culture Fest, and we really had a great experience. We had about 800 people come through, pick up these little passports, and then they took them around to all the different vendors. The vendors were dressed up like a country, either where their family descended from, or where they were from, or they just loved that country. And so we had little flags that they placed, and then we had some different foods that were there that were amazing. So Chalada was there, and she had several Thai, I can't remember what their rice is, but it's amazing. And she sold out quickly, so she's just done a great job. And just Roper was a huge part of that too. So we're building and bringing in business partners like Roper. They were like, what can we do? How can we help? We have a diverse workforce, and we would love to be a part of that. And that was a really great experience for me to see how invested Roper is in our community. So all these relationships, all these collaborations, and I think the Chamber really has done a great job. I never realized as a principal all the ways that I could have been utilizing the Chamber, whereas now I see it. And it's really helped me get to know a lot of different people. And as I'm working with my downtown merchants, I'm thinking about the people that I've met through the chamber and how can we bring them on board or bring them into downtown to just make the experience that we're having in downtown more meaningful for everybody that comes on that particular night, whether it's a concert or Galentine's or anything, trivia night, the chamber's really been a big part of me getting to meet a lot of people from different walks of life and then trying to tie us all back together and bring them downtown because my focus is downtown.
Well, and I love that you mentioned Roper because one thing that we are concerned about, we always want to make sure there's a good quality of life. So that's one of the first things that businesses who are looking to come to an area, they want to know, hey, if my employees are here, if we move our business here, or if we build a new facility here, what can our families do on the weekend? Where can they go? And I don't know of a single week that you guys don't have something going on.
Well, and if they need help figuring out what to do, I'll always be glad to show them some ideas and ways that we can work together. So speaking of new things happening though, we are working on programming the Mars Theater, and this weekend we have 2 movies being offered. Sweet Home Alabama, which is one of my personal favorites, and that will be Friday night. And then Saturday night, The Notebook. You have to bring your own tissue. Gosh, it's such a heartbreaker, but it's so great.
It's a good Valentine's movie.
It is a great Valentine's movie. And so, again, the Mars Theater and with the DDA renting it out, that is just one more step to creating somewhere for people to go, somewhere for our teenagers to go, that they don't have to drive all the way to Fort Oglethorpe. And another way to promote the businesses in that downtown Mars Theater district, we also have a new gallery upstairs in the Mars. That's a private business that is run by Boyd and Holly Green. And Boyd is a local artist. They both graduated from LaFayette High School, and they want to be a part of the community. And there's some beautiful work there. And it's just great to see this facility being revitalized, being used, whereas it's kind of sat dormant for about 2 years. And so we're excited to have that open back up for the communities.
And so having that Mars Theater District as a part of your downtown footprint too, for those who are listening who might not have been there for a while, or maybe they haven't ventured out to that side of Lafayette in a good bit, tell them what they can expect, the other businesses they can expect to find there.
Absolutely. We just had a new business open up called Queen City Scoops, and they have, I think she told me, 44 Hershey's flavors of ice cream. So they'll be making milkshakes, banana splits, and ice cream, cones, cups, all of that. And Patty Smith is her name. She's fantastic. She has another business in a town close by, and she's like, hey, I want to get into Lafayette. And she's ready. So it's great. They did a soft opening last week with Galentine's, and I'm going to tell you, I did a little bit of the tasting.
That would be my favorite part. I think
it was delicious. It was so good. So when you're in the Mars Theater District, it's like as soon as you step on the streets, you're going to smell barbecue, and it is the best barbecue on the planet.
We don't just say that. I mean, he's got the awards to back it up. He has
all the awards to back it up for sure. And so you can have Wardlaw's Lucky IQ Barbecue. We also have Chilada's Station House. The Station House is such a great experience. She has a great patio that she even lights the fire even on cold nights. You can also go there and have watch TV if there's a sporting event. She's just there for a lot of different occasions. She's been fantastic when I've taken a small group from the Junior City Council. I say small, we usually do about 25 people, and she would even set up a buffet for us so that it was easier for people to get through the line, get food, and a lot of our students from the high school had never been there before. So that's a big part of the Junior City Council is for me to provide them some different experiences, like going to Chilada's to the Station House, or going to Crushed Tomato in downtown and showing them that Lafayette is not just running through a fast food. There's lots of other places and things to do in downtown. But I'm telling you, I've been working at the Mars a good bit, and every time I step out on the streets, I'm like, is it Thursday yet? Wardlaw's is only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but it's amazing.
And
They're
there's
always
a line.
cooking.
I mean, there is a line out the door to get that food.
People drive from all over to go sit out there. Yeah, I remember I did an 18-second video of a line a year ago, And it had like 80,000 views because people were like, "Yep, I've heard of that place." Yes,
really
I
that
would
good.
go there. Yeah,
It really
it
is.
is really good.
Okay, so when you get restaurants and retail shops and you've got events going on too, one thing I've seen is almost a revitalization on the residential side as well.
Yeah, all over the world there is a housing crisis. So finding that sweet spot of housing that suits what we need, but also affordable housing. You know, I'm part of the GIC team, which is the Georgia Housing Initiative, and on our GIC team, we talk about the need for middle market housing, but when middle market is like 300 to 400,000, it blows my mind because I haven't built a house or bought a house in 20 plus years. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that is workforce housing, 300 and 400,000. But there is a need for housing, and there are people that are coming to the area. We've got like a Horton home situation going on out by Walmart, and you know, with pilgrims coming, I feel like the housing need is going to get even bigger. So it's so important, you know, that we get the right developers who are going to follow the codes. We have a fantastic codes department that really make the city run. I see a lot of different sides in my role, and just knowing the importance of codes and how they make sure that things are safe for everybody in the community, whether it's how houses are built, how the sidewalks look, how things are in the downtown. You know, it all just goes hand in hand together. So,
well, you know, I've been looking in the market too, but I have noticed, so on some houses in Lafayette, it will even say how specific, you know, the requirements are in the city of Lafayette to pass an inspection. And so it's like been, you know, rigorous inspection process by the city of Lafayette, and so that just makes you feel good. You did bring up a great point. You know, Pilgrims is coming in. They're bringing a leadership team in a few weeks just to get to know some more people in the area. But one of the things we wanted to connect them with right away is housing, because we know that's an issue everywhere. I saw something, our mortgage loan originator, Jessica, who's in the chamber, she's involved. She's on our board of directors with TVFCU, but she had mentioned in Walker County, I think it was a 26% increase in housing cost year over year. And other communities had, you know, maybe 1%, give or take, but Walker County was 26%. And so I think people are definitely looking in Lafayette because they can get more bang for their buck. But also when the city is doing everything that you guys are doing to breathe new life into the area and give people things to do, I think that's always important too.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to say that codes is not the bad guy. They're really just trying to protect the citizens. They're trying to protect what you're investing your money in. And I know sometimes they can get a bad rap because they're like, no, that's not to code. You got to fix it. But that is ultimately for everybody's safety. So it makes a big impact.
When you're living there and you're purchasing that home, you want it to have some rigorous testing and some good eyes on it for sure.
Absolutely.
So you've talked about the farmers market coming up. You guys have also started meeting again. You pretty much meet year round for a honeybee festival.
Well, we did start back just last week actually, so there's a lot of excitement buzzing around the honeybees. I had to throw that out there. But a lot of people may not realize that the honeybee is ultimately ran by volunteers. There are paid employees that are part of that because public safety is a huge component. My job is tied to helping with entertainment. There are people there, but there's a large group of volunteers that if they were not a part of it, we couldn't make it happen. That's another shining example of a collaboration between the city and Lafayette High School, because you've got a lot of trash coming in. About 60,000 people will be there that day. You've got to dispose of trash immediately. Otherwise, you're going to have trash all over town. And the high school works with the city to help move the trash around, get it put in trash cans, and just keep things flowing. So it's really an amazing day. We even utilize our trustees at night after it's over. Everybody the next day usually goes, I cannot believe we just had 60,000 people in our town and you cannot see evidence of it anywhere. Well, we utilize lots of people to help, lots of volunteers, and even our trustees to pick up and get things cleaned up and moving immediately after honeybee. And that work starts at like 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock, and then they'll go on till 2 or 3 in the morning getting things picked up, straightened up. So
And then you take a little bit of a break and then turn around and start planning for the next year too.
Yeah, absolutely. And every year we have like an after action meeting of what went well, what do we need to do. And one of the things that really is cool is we have a honeybee app. I hope more people download it. We had a lot of apps. I mean, a lot of people downloaded it last year, but it gets better every year. And that was designed by Andrew Lemons, who's a senior at Georgia Tech. And when we reached out 2 years ago, I had Andrew as a student at my school, and then I worked with his mother for years. And I was like, you think Andrew could design us an app? She's like, I bet he could. I talked to him. I promise you, he probably did it in like 2 hours. He's so amazing. I'm joking. I know it probably took a little more than that, but he is fantastic. And so he keeps making adjustments as each year rolls on. So last year was really great because people could look up every single vendor, and then it had their vendor contact information. So as we move forward, we're getting smarter about what we're asking from our vendors, because a lot of people want to buy something from this lady who has these beautiful crocheted animals, but they didn't know what to do with it because they're like, I don't know how to get in touch with her after the fact. But now they have the app and they can look it up. Or they could say, who was that great band playing at 11 o'clock on the stage that Walker Rocks paid for at 10 o'clock, whatever. You can look it up, you can see, you've got their contact information. So we're getting smarter about what we're asking from people, and then we're trying to give access to people because we want this to be a reciprocal relationship. We want to have a great day. We want them to have a great career or a great business. So it all just works together hand in hand.
What other kind of stats do you get from the Honeybee Festival? I don't want to put you on the spot, but when we're talking about, the impact to local businesses, maybe if they're open during the day on a Saturday anyway, what are they seeing on Honeybee weekend? How many people are coming to the area? Do you guys have any?
I don't have any hard data because we do not spend the money for Placer AI, but I just have a lot of information just talking with the people that choose to stay open. Some people choose not to be open on that day and they want to enjoy the festival, and so they're not open. But a couple of our boutiques, I know last year Honey and June reported like a record number of sales on that day because people are in downtown. This is a great opportunity for them to just be like, oh, I've never even seen Honey and June. Let me walk in there and, oh, I found some really cute things. So some places are open, some are not, but the ones that are typically see a lot of sales on that day. So I wish I had some hard numbers.
No,
but,
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I feel like too, even as a small business, it could be a great way for them to just, you may not even necessarily have a sale from a customer, but if they're visiting the area and they stop in and they have a good experience, or maybe they see something they want to come back and buy later. So kind of that long-term impact of just getting them to LaFayette in the first place.
Absolutely.
If it's not necessarily a destination. You guys don't have the announcement for the headliner yet, do you? When
we
they
do
that?
not, and it seems like it gets later every year, but we work in collaboration with US 101, and they really have the star power to attract the stars, and so we really rely on them to help us get it set up. But as soon as they're ready with it, we will be announcing.
We're always excited to hear who it is.
Absolutely. Sure. I am as well. So, and I have not heard. I have a couple of people I'm like, hey, can we get so-and-so? Yeah. But, one thing you said that really hit home, talking about people coming in and seeing, and maybe they don't make a purchase then, but later. Yeah. When I was talking with Josh Chapman after the Galentine's event, I said, how did it go? Because he offers like ring cleaning service and stuff like that. He said, well, we were busy all night long with people coming in, taking pictures. And he says, so while it may not have been a ton of sales, it was a lot of people taking a picture and being like, hey, hubby.
He made one sale. I bought my son's birthstone. Yes,
awesome. So. And he gave away a half-carat diamond earrings. So it really pays to shop downtown.
Yeah.
And
too, I was going to say, I mean, I haven't been in there a ton lately. And so just getting in to see the new inventory of what he has, you never know.
We've had a lot of facade grants going on downtown right there. And Josh is the building owner of several buildings right there. So there's really been some new updated looks as well. So
and there's a Airbnb upstairs?
Oh, yes, above Strands. So that can be located on Airbnb. He stays pretty busy with that for sure. It is a beautiful space, so it's huge.
Good business traffic too. I'm sure if people are coming in for meetings or something and need to stay.
Or people that have extra company coming in and maybe they don't have space at their home that they can rent and be right in downtown. So
well, we were talking about music and US 101, but also Channing. Let's not forget to give him a plug. That was a big deal.
Oh, it was he is just doing amazing work, and probably one of my most favorite things we've done so far this year, or I should say school year. I still measure everything in school year.
Yeah,
but in October, when we had his community kickoff and watch party, that was amazing. We had the band from the high school there, part of the band playing and kicking it off, the cheerleaders. Then we had 5 or 6 local musicians singing Channing songs and then mixed in with some of their songs acoustically. And we had the fire going at Downtown Commons. It was just a beautiful night. We had a coffee cart, and there were a lot of people there celebrating Channing and just kicking it off for the road. And then, of course, he did so very well on the road. He did not win it all, but he went all the way through. I believe he was, second? I mean, he did great.
To the
finals. Mm-hmm. And then, that, of course, he's been pretty phenomenal for years. But this just brought him to the forefront because he's been writing songs for people that have been making millions of dollars for a long time.
A song for Luke Combs.
Yes, he's written a lot of songs, and he's probably been in the background a lot. Yeah. This really put his foot forward. He's amazing, and he's a great human too. His kids are wonderful as well, and his wife. They're just a sweet little family, and they love their town.
I just love, being able to sit and watch a show on CBS on a Sunday night and they're saying LaFayette.
I know it, right?
That's something to see. Well, tell me what's new, what's to come for the city of Lafayette. What are some things you guys are working on? I know you always have seasonal events. Now that Valentine's Day is almost coming on, what's next?
Well, we'll have a Catch the Leprechaun. This will be our second annual running 5K event that Ringgold Telephone Company really is a huge sponsor. They're our sole sponsor, actually, for the event. And it's just a lot of fun. There'll be a guy dressed up as a leprechaun. And if you catch him, you get a prize. So that's going to be, I believe, March the 14th. So right before St. Patrick's Day. That's coming up. Again, like I said, we've got movies at Mars. We'll be scheduling more events at Mars Theater. We will also have Georgia Cities Week. I try to make sure that we are promoting our town. Our mayor will get out and read some books and do some activities around at different schools. And then we will have our community cleanup, which is the city and the junior city council. And anybody can volunteer for that. That will be, I believe, the 19th, that Saturday. Then the next week we kick off with our farmers market. So
your mayor is probably one of my all-time favorite people.
He is precious.
It is, especially in my role, having any kind of event where we're welcoming a new business to town and coming to Lafayette. I never have to wonder if he's going to show up. If he can't, he always sends somebody in his place. But he's just such a good ambassador of the overall community.
Yes, he is such a people person, and he is just amazing. And to know him from the mayor perspective is one thing. To know him with how he impacted my own child's life. My oldest had him.
As an educator,
my youngest did not have him. I also taught at least I believe 2 of his sons were on my team, and they're just amazing people. Teresa's a great mayor's wife, and she's always willing to help me out with things as well. So he really loves Lafayette. He grew up in Lafayette. He's got some great stories to tell, and he's just a great human. So to have somebody like that that's willing to put back into our community, it really makes an impact.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for joining us and for telling us a little bit about what's going on in Lafayette. If they want more information, where can they go?
Well, they can go to our Facebook page, Downtown Lafayette, and they can click on there and send a message. I'm one of a few people that help moderate the page, and you can always go to mycityoflafayette.com, which is our website for the city. You can go to the site that says Main Street or Downtown Development Authority. Has all my contact information. We love to have more people doing business in downtown.
Thank you. All right, until next time, guys, tune in to another edition of Walker Talks. I'm Lacey Smith.